It's time for Justice for All, Behind the Badge video, streamed live from Team Toyota Route 1 in Langhorne with your host, Tom Mellon, featuring Bucks County District Attorney Matt Weintraub and Bucks County Sheriff Fred Harran. Here's your host from Team Toyota, Tom Mellon.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our wonderful show that we do each and every month, Behind the Badge, here with Fred Harran, our sheriff in Bucks County. Fred, thanks for joining us once again
Tom,
today.
thank you.
Sponsored by Paul Muller. Charlie Esposito, my co-host here, who's here. He's the president, retired Philadelphia police officer, as myself, and the president of the retired Philadelphia police, retired, and our correctional officers, we should say. Please. Correctional officers. We're editing that and have to change the bylaws, but he's the president of our retired police, fire, and correctional officers, right, Charlie?
And sheriffs and DAs.
And sheriffs and the DAs.
Anybody that wants to join.
All of our heroes, which I'm going to talk a little bit about later on today, Fred. You'll have some offers to bring back to all the members, all of our heroes, and their families as well, that Paul Muller so most graciously thought was a good idea.
Yeah. Where
a lot of the dealerships are charging, as you know, over, they call it a marketing adjustment, over the MSRP. We're actually going to, for all of our heroes, it's going to be $500 under MSRP and a special donation to a specific charity.
Thank you. Very nice.
So that's pretty good stuff. But today we're going to cover some topics of good information, notable points of interest for our listeners out there. And Freddie, let's start with just a quick history. I know we were talking about it, about your responsibilities as the sheriff for how long has it been now? A year and a half?
Just, a year and 2 months, I guess.
Hard to believe.
Almost 2 months to the day, 2 months and 2 days.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, it's been an interesting
experience.
It is an experience. People warn me. It's when you're leaving the life of luxury, I should say. Not luxury, but things worked a lot easier in Ben Salem.
Sure.
Working for Joey D, decisions were made quickly, expeditiously, and service was provided to the public as you move up, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know, moving up is the word, but getting to more bureaucratic red tape, the county. And we're going to talk about some of that red tape today.
We are going to talk about it.
So it's a perfect segue, Tom. Did you plan that?
Yes, of course I did.
Man, that was perfect.
Yes. And it's true. I mean,
it is true.
The bureaucracy in Ben Salem, people need to take copies of it.
And local government, things move a lot quicker. Especially in Ben Salem, but then you work in the county and work with the state and the federal government. I always said if government was a business, we'd be out of business, and we're going to talk about some of those things. But it's been good. I got a lot of good men and women. We're hiring right now.
Well, that's great.
We are hiring. We've got approved in the 23 budget for 8 more deputies and 2 clerks. We're in the process of filling those positions now.
What will that bring it up to?
That will bring it up to 72 sworn.
Okay.
And the civilian staff about 16.
Wow. Okay.
17 civilians. So the folks there they work very hard. It's constant. As we've talked about before on the show, there's a lot of responsibility on the civil aspect and also in the criminal side. We're just formulating now. We're putting together a warrant unit full-time. Mm-hmm. People will be going out there and hitting doors early in the morning, taking people into custody. We have about 7,800 outstanding warrants in this county. People.
Did you hear that, Charlie? 7,800.
7,800 outstanding warrants. This is people that never showed up for the sentencing, didn't show up for court, fled, skipped out on bail, whatever it is, ranging. Our most serious crimes we have. Thank God we don't have, the homicide folks out there, and we'll talk about that in the cities, but, armed robberies, burglaries, some sexual assaults, things like that. But we have, drugs, drug sales, drug delivery, a lot of different felonies. About a third of those are felonies, which are serious crimes. So my plan is we're going to start, holding them accountable. And, a jury or a judge have found them guilty, or they pled guilty and never came back to court, we're going to go get them. And then, we have domestic relations. We have 4 deputies assigned full-time for people that do not pay their child support. And those numbers are in the, $40,000 worth of child support that people haven't paid. So they have to be held accountable. Plus, gun permitting. We just started since our last show, and certainly I invite any of the listeners to take us up on this offer. Even Team Toyota, if they want to host an event.
We'll do it.
We did. You don't even know what I'm doing yet. We were
we're
ready to host it anyway.
Oh, yeah. Of course we will.
So the event is come and they'll give away free cars here. No, that's not the event.
Now wait a minute. Hold on.
I'll be in the back.
Yeah, exactly.
We're doing mobile gun permitting. I talked about that on the campaign trail. Now we're doing it. We started with the operating engineers a couple weeks ago. They had one of their union meetings, and they asked me if I would come and do mobile gun permitting. And it was a good group. It was about 30, 40, 50 people.
Okay.
And it was a good test of our system. We got some mobile processing stuff.
Sure.
And it worked out. Those that wanted gun permits, we were able to do the background checks there on site during their meetings. We were able to fill out all the forms, and they left with their gun permitting card. Their carrying permit. So we'll do that to any group that wants to do it. All they got to do is they can reach out to you here. You can get in touch with me, or they can call me in the office, or better email me at faharran, Harran, at buckscounty.gov. Harran, Harran, at buckscounty.gov. And we'll come out and we'll do your event. And you know what? We don't charge anything.
How nice is that?
So it's that's not true. We do. It's a state fee. It's $20 per permit, but that's for the state. So we don't charge anything extra, I should say. So
a nominal fee.
It is $20 to get your permit. I can't waive that. I can't do anything about it. That money goes to the state.
And we have 2 offices, right? One in Quakertown, one in Levittown now?
3. So we have Quakertown, Levittown, and Doylestown, obviously.
Okay.
But then people have the right, and there's a lot of folks in Bucks County like carrying weapons. And if you're legally permissible to do it, it's not my job to say, who's a good witch and who's a bad witch.
True.
My job is, to carry out the letter of the law, and that's what I do. So I follow the law, and those that are allowed and permissible by law to carry a firearm will issue a permit.
Absolutely.
So it's pretty neat. They really enjoyed it, and if you want to host an event, I don't really care who wants to host it. We'll be more than happy to come out and work with you. So those are some of the things that we're doing. We've got live, this is not a good part of the job. We're doing live auctions again for homes. So we started that back up. This Friday is our 3rd or 4th live auction. I sat in on a couple of those just to witness how that went. And we're doing a lot of extraditions still. That crime is not stopping.
Wow.
With the drug prevalence, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. We are not winning the war on drugs. To coin a phrase from Nancy Reagan days, we're just saying no is not working enough. And we're certainly not winning that war on drugs. And there are ways to win that war, and we could talk about that. But to answer your original question, I'm enjoying it, and I got a little over 2 years and 10 months left, something like that, and hopefully I'll run again, and hopefully I will run again if the people will elect me. It's up to them. We're trying to do some new stuff in that office, and I have some new things planned for this year. But it takes a while to get things moving. Nothing moves quick.
Bureaucracy. You're right.
It moves very, very slow, and we're making headway. I will say that a lot of the other row officers and the commissioners have been working with me and salary board, and I understand there's a limit, but of course, my love and passion is law enforcement and the criminal justice system and the things that go along with that. That's all I've known for 37 years. So sometimes I think, a lot of the resources should be put behind that with social service, a combination. You need a little flour, sugar, egg. You need everything for the cake to use. You need all the component. Egg alone ain't getting you a cake. So we want to put everything together and make it the best system we can here in Bucks County. So that's where we are, Tommy.
Yeah, and that red tape that you're mentioning. Let's start with that. That's one of the main concerns of bureaucracy. You have your state officials in many forms of government, and then you have your elected officials that form some of the bureaucracies. But
I remember what the third thing was. So I got it in my head now.
You do?
I
Great.
do. It just
Didn't
came back to
you?
me.
I
yeah.
knew that it would come back.
Just came back.
Yeah.
Did you see that? My lieutenant just bought a car
there we
at
go.
Team Toyota. Good job, Rusty.
Rusty, great. Good. That's good to hear. Good to see. Here at Team Toyota, with the special program that we have to talk about. But that's the red tape. It's nagging. It's the maze of government rules, regulations, the paperwork, and that's what
It's, it's frustrating, and you know me a long time, and
Sure.
a lot of the folks in Bucks know me, and I was at a meeting today, and I don't hold back. I kind of, good or bad, say it like it. Sometimes my wife says it's not sometimes my best quality, but it does seem to get things done sometimes.
The energy you
I,
have,
I
it's
just
important.
I just don't hold back. I'm not good at holding back. I mean, I do when I have to, but when you absolutely have to. But I just can't stand the red tape. I can't stand the bureaucracy of the bureaucracy, and things shouldn't be so.
Oh,
I almost said a bad
you're
word.
right,
You almost
no.
had to do the 7-second delay
Yeah.
button. Things shouldn't be
Fudgy.
so
So fudgy.
so fudgy. Things
That's the
shouldn't be
word.
so fudgy. Things shouldn't be so rough. It should.
Yeah.
It's not.
You're
It's not
right.
that. It's not rocket science.
No, it isn't.
And things are just get very frustrating, and we don't have to make it so complicated. And the person that pays is the U.S. citizen.
Of course.
It's not us. It's the citizen that's going about their day, that they have a family to take care of. They have the job. They have to earn money for their families.
Sure.
And then they run into this bureaucratic nonsense that we're stuck in our ways, and we can't seem to get out of our own way. And the person that suffers is that person. And it's just unbelievable and not fair. And recently in the last month, actually, three things, and nothing to do with me personally, just three. Well, one's personal. One's a little personal in my own family, but three things that happened, all independent of one another, to two people that are not my family, one in my family, and it just took for it's like it shouldn't be that hard. And I don't know if you want to start and go through them a little
Yeah,
bit.
let's
I
talk
think
about the first one. Do we have time, Bree?
we
We have
got
a couple minutes to introduce the first phase, and then we'll come back right after a couple
All
words
right.
from our sponsor.
so
Yeah, why not?
The first thing that happened,
Stay
young
awake,
lady.
Jolly. You're going to learn something here.
I'm trying.
A
Okay.
young lady that is actually good friends with my wife, lives in Ben Salem. I'm not going to use any names, but her car was stolen.
Oh, boy.
One morning she reported to the police, and I told her, I said, listen, we get a lot of these recoveries. Ben Salem has a very active auto theft unit. We have a person assigned to auto theft. I guess I'm not there anymore, but they have a person assigned to a state auto theft task force. Anyway, to make a long story short, probably about a week and a half after the car was stolen, she goes and reports to the insurance company, all 9 yards, all that stuff. The car gets discovered in that city of Philadelphia.
Okay.
Not in bad shape. The car is operable and not in bad shape. The bad guys and gals drove it for whatever, a week and a half. They actually got a flat, changed the flat, used their spare tire, the whole 9
Unbelievable.
yards. So she gets the car back. It's actually was being evaluated for whatever damage, maybe undercarriage and all that. And then last week, or a week and a half ago, or 2 weeks, whatever, she calls me and she says, I'm getting all these notices in the mail from Philadelphia for parking violations, red light camera
Oh.
violations,
Yeah.
and all that. Okay, I get it.
criminal don't
criminal
care.
don't care. The
No.
criminal's going, driving all over. So I said to her, well, let's get a copy of the police report from Ben Salem, and you'll call Philadelphia, and you'll send it in there, and that should be the end of it.
No, it's the beginning.
It's the beginning of the bureaucracy. And Philadelphia, the parking authority, they wanted to come down. So here's a person that's already been victimized. That morning, she couldn't go to work because her car was stolen. She had to make arrangements to get to work. She was out of car, young kid, working, to make ends meet. And she's got to know you can never buy the car for even if the car is
No.
depreciated. You're not gonna get the money back on a used stolen car.
Certainly, no, you won't.
So now there's nothing you could do about that. I get it. I mean, we could certainly talk about that in a little bit. But now the city, the government is victimizing her again. It's not rocket science. Philadelphia Parking Authority, if you're listening to this, take care of those tickets. This is absurd. She's got a police report from Ben Salem Township Police Department. She put an insurance notification in. She's got a date on the recovered vehicle report.
It's crazy.
So here you go, Philadelphia. This is not rocket science, and I am not a math major. Take date 1 and date 2, and all tickets in between dismiss. This is not hard.
No, it's not.
Why are you making this kid come down and taking a day off and all that? It's absolute nonsense.
It's crazy.
It's
Yeah.
absolute nonsense. And they're busting her stones.
That's ignorance right there.
She just got notice of, so I told her, send it in. plead not guilty, send a copy of the reports in, but they're making her come down. You know what? They didn't even send her a date yet. They just sent her a second notice violation.
Oh, my God. Horrible.
How can you be that incompetent?
That's the system. That's these feudal laws that they need to improve.
Well,
I think it's incompetence
It is
of the
incompetence.
workers.
And
I think
ignorance.
it's laziness.
Yes.
Ignorance.
Listen, the workforce right now, COVID has done so much damage because people are still working from home. Get back to work. Get into the office. You try to call. Today I called. I'm not going to mention. And the person said, well, I'm working from home, so I'll try to get you the other. What are you working from home?
Yeah, get back into
Get
the
your
office.
butts back into work. What is going on here?
I know. COVID's over.
COVID's
pretty
over.
much
Did you get the memo? It's over. Let's get back into the office. Let's get to work. Let's energize this country, give it a jump start, and let's get our butts back in gear here. And
no question about it.
if you can't do it on your own, you come down to Team Toyota and you can buy one of their beautiful trucks, and you'll be able to get wherever you got to go.
I'm here.
I did your commercial.
Yeah, you did. You did. And here I am in the office.
And Tom's here, ready to make a sale, and we're stopping for a break, and I knew we were coming up for a break.
right,
That's why I did that.
You timed it perfectly.
Sorry.
Fred, as always. You're listening to Fred Harran, the Bucks County Sheriff, Charlie Esposito, who is the president of our Philadelphia Retired Police, Fire, and Correctional Officers. I'm Tom Mellon. We're going to talk a little bit about our sponsors for a moment. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
During the Toyota Ready, Set, Go sales event, just imagine yourself in a new Toyota. Whatever you need, from an electric vehicle to a rugged, versatile truck, we have new Toyotas on the ground for immediate delivery. Or choose from over 100 certified used options, which undergo a rigorous inspection and include an amazing warranty. Plus service centers that can save you time and money and keep you on the road. So let's go to Team Toyota this spring. Just visit teamtoyota.net to find a location near you.
Are you a parrot head? Not that kind. That's more like it. If you're this kind of parrot head, don't forget to check out the Denny-O Polka Show every Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon right here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Hi, this is Mayor Jeff Martin of Hamilton Township, inviting you to tune in to our monthly radio show, This Month in Hamilton. Video stream live the fourth Tuesday of every month at 10 a.m. at WBCB1490.com. We will be featuring various guests from Hamilton Township to keep you up to date on what's going on in Hamilton.
We're back here at Team Toyota, 746 East Lincoln Highway, for those of you who are interested. If you're a hero, and heroes, boy, my God, we have a list of them, don't we, Charlie?
Yes, we
Fred,
do.
police, fire, EMTs, paramedics, medical. We can't forget our sheriffs, everyone out there doing service to protect you and making life secure and safe for you so you can walk around. Certain areas, certain pockets we have to continue to focus on a little bit more. But we have a special program here. I'm going to talk a little bit later on about that Paul Muller is very proud of, and I am as well. Been doing it for 14 years. 14 years I've been doing this. It's crazy. And helped thousands of our heroes, all of our first responders. But now, where most dealerships are, 15, as much as 15, 20,000, the guy was telling me yesterday, 20,000 above MSRP, they call it a market adjustment. Here at Team Toyota, with you being a hero and a family member, you now have the opportunity to buy a vehicle, whether it's used or pre-owned or new, for how about $500 under the MSRP, which is unheard of. You're looking for a truck. Boy, did you come at the right time.
This is live. My
I
wife
know,
hears
you're
this.
right.
I'm going to be in big
You're
trouble. Are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
Oh, God.
Are you kidding
Do you
me?
think maybe she's listening right now? No, she's
I don't
not.
think she's
She's
listening.
getting her nails done.
Oh, no, she's not. She's hard at work.
Yes, she is. Yeah, it's in the middle of the afternoon. Are you kidding
She's
me,
working.
Charlie?
She's not getting her nails done.
Yes, no doubt. But we're back with Behind the Badge with Fred Harran.
You guys are getting me in trouble. This is my
Tom,
last time.
I did
It was
right.
very nice on this show. I
Yeah.
won't be back. Thank you.
You're finished after this. Yeah, it's a comedy hour when we bring Fred in, and it's a lot of fun. But there's a lot of seriousness to this show, and pay attention and listen. You'll learn something. We're talking about some of these episodes that are occurring. I know you were just sharing the one bad experience that your friend had. It's bad enough that her car was stolen. And now, because of the apathy in major city, Philadelphia, if you're listening, traffic court, yeah, there's no sympathy down there. They come in, they work There are so many hours and they're out the door and they don't care about anything else. Just mail out the late notices, penalties to a person that's really, a good paying, honest paying, tax providing citizen, and she's got to suffer all these doldrums.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
It is insane. And I'm like, you sit there and you're like, you feel helpless. You're trying to help this poor kid, and you can't fight City Hall, literally. I mean, she's going to have to take a day off of work, go down there, and hopefully they're not going to waste her whole day. And it's the good people that go to court, and sometimes the folks, we talked about the amount of warrants. Those people just don't show up for court, and a lot of times there's not a lot of repercussions for that action. Right. I mean, there should be, but there isn't always that.
With all the technology they have today with computer systems, they call it the AI, automatic intelligence. Or automated intelligence.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and
artificial. I think they call it artificial AI, the artificial intelligence.
And there's people that are speaking to you, and they're really not a person.
Oh my God!
By all means.
How many times?
But they're they're effective, and they're saving a lot of money for businesses to continue to keep their products, the prices low and everything because of the AI, this artificial. Why can't they do something like that with the court system?
Well, they should be able to do some of that. I'm not so sure some of this artificial intelligence is the best thing. You ever go to the checkout at the supermarket and you do your own checkout and the thing's arguing with you? Like, you put the wrong thing in the bag. Like, shut up. What do you know what I put in the bag, you idiot? Like
put it back on the counter.
Yeah, put it back on the counter. Then you got to see the customer service rep to reset your thing. Like, why don't you put the customer service rep on a cash register and let me check out the normal way, the way we used to do it.
The old-fashioned way.
You're getting me worked up.
So, no, but there are some. Yeah, there's some bad benefits.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
There really are. But down there in Philadelphia, wake up. There's people that don't need more of a harrowing experience to go to City Hall, go down wherever they have to go to fight a ticket that's not their responsibility. And there has to be ways where you can send an email, make a phone call. It goes to a specific person or persons to handle this matter, and everybody's happy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's just very frustrating. And then we just had another incident. This was a little closer to home. My stepdaughter, my wife's daughter, had to get her passport renewed, and she's gone this week, and this was back in December. She sent it in. The passport people got it in wherever in the federal world. They got it like December 20-something, December 22nd. It was she could file it on the computer, and comes last week, we're still like, we don't have the passport, and it's over 12 weeks, and it was supposed to be done in 8, and it just gets so frustrating. Like, this young woman was born in the United States at a U.S. hospital, American citizen, U.S. citizen. It shouldn't be that difficult to get a passport. I mean, people are hopping over the border like there's, no tomorrow, and a U.S. citizen can't even get a passport, in a timely manner. Thank God, Brian Fitzpatrick, I reached out to his office, Kyle, his I guess chief here in Bucks County, his main guy is a local director. They were able to make calls and get it all done, and they get calls from a lot of constituents. I live here in Bucks County, so, I'm getting help. They're helping me as a constituent. But,
sure.
Thank God Brian was able to step into action and help us get this through. The kid would have lost all this money on spring break with her friends. It shouldn't be that difficult.
No.
But here, the passport people, a lot of them are working from home again. They ship this stuff out all over the country to get this stuff processed, and it takes forever. It shouldn't be that hard. This is a U.S. citizen with a birth certificate from a U.S. hospital. How much background do you need to do? It's not that difficult, folks.
It's not rocket science.
It's not really rocket science, but yet, there's no repercussions if you're here illegally and committing crime and things like that. Because I remember I took the hit back in 2000 and whatever 17. We were looking to do some stuff, and people came out crying about all this stuff, and here's a poor kid just trying to get a passport, and they make it so difficult. And I know a lot of people, and it still took me forever to get it done. And can you imagine the citizen that is just going to call their rep's office and try to get help? It sometimes just takes forever. And why does Washington make it so difficult to get a passport? Thank God Brian was able to help out or it would have been a complete debacle. So I appreciate his office very much, and they're there to help everybody out. But again, this is just another example. Maybe it's not as crazy as the first story with the tickets, but it shouldn't be that hard. 11 months to process a passport for a U.S. citizen to go and to Cancun or whatever. I mean, it's not like you're going to some country where there's a lot of funny business going on.
True.
So I don't understand why they make it so difficult. And it's just extremely frustrating. And I don't know, maybe I'm not that smart. Maybe there's a lot more to it than we know about. But somebody tell me what it is, because it can't be that hard to process this document. It can't be that hard.
I think you're spot on with it. I don't think that you're missing anything, because let's face it, you've been in an administrative role for many, many years, and you've cut through a lot of the red tape in Ben Salem, for example. As you
cut
pointed
through
out.
it. I mean, and listen, that was one of the things the mayor was. He come from the business world.
Yes.
So he's not all about red tape, that guy. And
No.
he didn't want to hear. He didn't like the words no when residents and developers wanted to come in and do stuff that was legal and all that. If they checked all the boxes, let's get it done. There's no need to drag them along, especially residents too.
Yeah, positive growth for the community.
It's just that's what we're here to do. We're here to help the people and not put roadblocks in. And it seems like there's a lot of other agencies out there, especially when you get to the federal level, that put a lot of roadblocks in the way. And frankly, I understand why people get frustrated and take it to the next level, because it's very frustrating, and you have no one to call, no one to help. Half the time you can't even try to get somebody on the phone from the passport agency.
Yeah.
And years ago, you used to be able to fast track it in one day. If you went to the down to Philadelphia or New York or wherever, you can go and stand in line all day and get it done. Pain, but at least it was done in a day.
Yeah.
Now you got to make an appointment. And you can't get an appointment for weeks or months out. So
Right.
that's not a fast track.
No.
That's not a fast track by any stretch of the imagination.
Have you tried to get your real license yet?
No,
where do you see that?
I gave up when I
Where
saw
do you
what I had
see
to do for it.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, forget
Well, you'll need it eventually, Fred.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they keep postponing it.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be this year. It's
they're
postponed.
moving it
enough.
off a little bit.
They
Yeah.
just moved it up to next year.
Yeah, next
Okay.
year.
Yeah, but where do you see that mess?
Oh yeah, you need an original, your original birth
Original birth certificate, your
original Social Security card,
number,
your proof of residence,
proof of residence,
like a bill showing where you live, to
and
prove
there's
residence.
another thing you have to
Your
have.
driver's license has to be.
And you have your driver's license. It's not like you had to get your driver's license to begin with.
Yeah.
And all they have to do is make it real.
Sometimes they make it
Hey,
too difficult.
But I can go vote with no identification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't go there.
Boy,
maybe
we hit a sensitive
maybe we
spot
shouldn't
there.
go there.
No,
Yeah,
we
we
should go.
should.
We should go there, because that's important.
Yeah,
Do
it's
we have the right people in the right places?
it's
Well,
insane.
they're insinuating that people are too stupid to be able to get an ID.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
that's
ridiculous.
too.
We're going to take another fast break here so we can identify our sponsors. A lot more to talk about behind the badge with Fred Harran, our Bucks County Sheriff, here at Bucks County. We're in Bucks County, here at Team Toyota at 746 East Lincoln Highway, right across the street from McDonald's. It's a great place to visit. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
During the Toyota Ready, Set, Go sales event, just imagine yourself in a new Toyota. Whatever you need, from an electric vehicle to a rugged, versatile truck, we have new Toyotas on the ground for immediate delivery. Or choose from over 100 certified used options, which undergo a rigorous inspection and include an amazing warranty. Plus service centers that can save you time and money and keep you on the road. So let's go to Team Toyota this spring. Just visit teamtoyota.net to find a location near you.
Hey, this is Jonesy. Kick off your Thursday and Friday evenings in style. Join me for an eclectic freeform mix of the hits and beyond. It's a happening, a musical journey. It's the Glenn Jones radio experience right here on 1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM, Thursday and Friday, 5 to 6 p.m., directly following the legendary Jerry Blavitt. Radio, the way it ought to be.
WBCB is now on your FM dial at 107.3. Serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer counties since 1958, you can now listen to all of your BCB favorites crystal clear on 107.3 FM. A new age for WBCB on a new frequency, 107.3.
Hit it.
Welcome back to Behind the Badge here at 746 East Lincoln Highway at Team Toyota, sponsored by Paul Muller. Behind the Badge, obviously our host, Fred Harran, who is the Bucks County Sheriff, and my sidekick here, Charlie Esposito, the president of our retired police, fire, and correctional officers. But you have another story to share.
Well, I do. One more, and then we'll wrap it up with
Feudal.
this.
Yeah, very feudal.
A young man that works for my wife, actually. He's a nice young guy. I talked to him on the phone a couple of times, and he has a spotless driver's record, and she's an operations manager for a company. I don't want to get into specifics. Right. But they're in 4 different states. But this young guy, I think he's in Philadelphia area. Yeah, he's in the Philly area. But he's got to get a special license, and he had to go get fingerprinted and everything for this. So he goes to the fingerprinting place. They send it in. It's then got to go to Homeland Security to get cleared, and then goes to the state so he can get this marking on his PennDOT driver's license, PA driver's license. So it's his months now. He did all this. I saw all the paperwork. And Homeland Security, and I got State Rep Casey Tomlinson's office is helping out with this, thank God. Another thing that if you can't get somebody to help out, you're not going to get anything done.
It's even worse.
So you got Homeland Security saying, we got the prints, we cleared them, and we sent it to the state. And the state's saying, we never got it from Homeland Security. So this poor guy is losing money, because he can't do a certain function with the company. And you got two agencies, bureaucratic agencies, fighting amongst each other. So then told him, just go get re-fingerprinted and just do it again. And they said, no, you can't because you just got fingerprinted within 90 days or 6 months. You got to wait. Well, the two agencies are doing one of these.
Yeah, exactly.
And
imperialism, right there.
It's insane.
It is.
Just process this poor kid's print so he can get this license certification. You're stopping him from working. You're stopping him from making money. He can't do this particular function. And they're just pointing fingers at each other. Stop pointing fingers and just fix the problem. Again, it's not rocket science. This is a young man, trying to make an honest buck, and you got the government screwing with him. Oh, am I allowed to say that? Too late. I already said it.
What, the government?
The government. That was good, Charlie. That was funny.
Oh, yeah, he's attentive to all these little
government. You can't say that word on radio, government.
That's our engineer never misses our shows. He loves being our tech over there,
You can't say government's a bad word. Oh, my God, that's hysterical. But you know what? We're lucky in Bucks. We got people working hard to try to fix some of these problems. But it is just one of many in the system. Right now, there's a mess in this country and a mess locally. Crime is at a crazy, crazy rampant number, and that's a lot because of drugs. It's a lot because of the mental health issues. It's a lot because of, we're still seeing the effects. We're going to see the effects from COVID for another 10 to 20 years. There's no doubt in my mind we're going to see the everlasting effects. And all this other stuff that's going on, all the negativism, is that a word? Whatever.
It is.
All the negative, whatever.
Negative
talk regarding, law enforcement. It's hard to get people.
It is hard to get people.
I know when I took the test in '86, you were just retiring then, right?
What an old fart I am.
What year did you retire?
Oh, I went out in 91.
Oh, 91. All right, so you're not that old.
Yeah, I'm not that old. Thank you.
So when I took the test in '86, there were 1,400 people. The last time when I was in Ben Salem, I know Ben Salem is advertising now for officers. I know, I think we were down before I left. It was maybe 110 took the test.
Oh, my goodness.
I know the sheriff's office we're trying to hire now. I get like 24 people put in applications. You're just not getting anybody for these jobs anymore. And it is a good job. It is a great profession. There's no doubt. Even with the craziness and the chaos going on in the world, it's still a great job. I don't know if I would change anything. But I'm not a 23-year-old looking for a career at this point, so maybe that would be a play into my decision-making process. But it's hard to hire and it's hard to retain. Cops are leaving at record numbers. The big cities are having record number retirements because they're not being supported by their bosses, not being supported by elected officials. And, that's one thing, knock on wood, we've been pretty good in Bucks County.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That most of the municipalities support their police departments. And I say most because I can't say every single one, but the ones that I know all do. So I'm not saying that there's somebody out there that's non-supportive.
No.
I just don't know if there is or isn't. But the ones I know are very supportive of the police. And we got townships that are faced with real issues, crime, because of our location in the city of Philadelphia. You know, if Ben Salem did not have the legislative support, the political support that they have, it would be a district in Philadelphia, and a bad district in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, we've talked about this, you know, many times. You know, I remember when I was the director there, people would question, say, why, you know, I was driving down Street Road and somebody was pulled over and there were 3 police cars there or 4 police cars. Why was that? Isn't that a little overkill? And I'm thinking, well, you know, in Bucks County especially, and I can only speak for Ben Salem at that point, but even in the rest of Bucks now, you want as many as you can because it makes the bad guy or gal, the criminal, think twice before they take other action.
You're absolutely right.
You got to remember, criminals are human too. They process things the way you and I process. And if you're going up against one cop and you know you're a 3-strike loser, or you might be going to jail for the crime, or you got 7 kilos in the trunk of your car, you're going away for a while.
Oh, yeah.
I might take my chances with one cop.
Right.
I might not take my chances with 5.
Yes.
So,
exactly.
you know,
Visibility is important.
it's very important. And you know, Tom, you know, the first step in the use of force, we talk about, you hear use of force and force continuum. The first thing on that step is officer presence. It's just an officer being present. Most citizens, just the mere sight of a police officer will make them comply with the law. A criminal or somebody that has other ideas, the presence of 5 officers might make them comply with the law, so that officers don't have to go hands-on and use other means of gaining control. So I think that's very important for people to understand that. But as time continues now, we're having less and less people take the police test. So what's going to happen? You're not going to get the best qualified candidates.
Right.
Therefore, you're going to see more news things popping up.
Absolutely.
And you're going to see more police getting hurt because you're not going to have the personnel on the street to do the job.
Fred, what would you like to see improve with the efforts with regard to our bureaucracy officials to draw exceptional, highly effective candidates for police work, for sheriff work? What would you like to see change or occur? Because it's so complicated. Up here, it's not bad. I mean, there's a lot of pride and dignity and good character. But in these major cities, they have problems.
Yeah, you know, people understand. I'm mumbling.
No,
people need to understand, you know, what policing is really about. I think more community involvement. I was real big on that in Ben Salem. I think the community really needs to understand what policing is all about. The do's and don'ts. What a daily routine is for a police officer. And I think we need to protect our police. We need to support them with laws. I think, Sergeant Fitzgerald getting killed at
I want to
Temple.
talk a little bit about that. Yeah, Chris.
I said it on NBC Live there, and as I started, I think we weren't on the air yet today. You know, part of my problem is I just say what's on my mind.
Sure.
And good, bad, or indifferent, you kind of know what you got when you hear me talk. I mean, I don't really hold back. And if you kill a police officer, and you gotta be found guilty. First of all, you gotta have a trial.
Yeah.
You're innocent till proven guilty. It doesn't matter what you've done. You're innocent till proven guilty. But if you're proven guilty, and there's the appeal process takes its route, should be a little quicker.
A lot quicker.
You need to be held accountable. Let's just say that. Maybe I won't cause any problems.
Yes.
You need to be severely held accountable, and whatever the consequences are, and that's really what needs to happen. And police need to be supported. Police do make mistakes. There's a difference between a mistake of the head and a mistake of the heart. And I always use this as my rule of thumb. If a cop makes a mistake intentionally, they stopped a car intentionally because of your for whatever reason, the color of your skin, your sexual orientation, they don't like people driving around in red cars, whatever the reason is,
may be.
They need to be held accountable. But when it's a mistake of the heart, meaning it's a mistake because humans make mistakes, there's a different level of accountability.
There is.
Meaning they didn't do it on purpose. It was just an outcome from the incident. That needs to be held accountable. I mean, it needs to be met with with some compassion,
and
because
understanding, more of a perspective.
You can't do your job, effectively, and the rhetoric that our elected officials, some, take on just to play into the craziness is just wrong. Doctor makes a mistake, someone dies, the doctor should be held accountable. But you don't shut that hospital down.
No, you don't. Exactly.
You don't tell the other 300 doctors in that hospital, nurses and radiologists and phlebotomists and orderlies and janitorial staff, you're all out of a job. We're shutting the hospital down because one person made a mistake. You hold that person accountable, and you need to take that with policing. Do police officers make some mistakes? Yes. There is a lot of 900,000 law enforcement officers in this country, just shy of 1 million. A couple are going to be bad. Mm-hmm. A couple, and you know what I mean.
Yes, small percentage.
It is a small percentage.
Yes.
But the fact that things are rampant is just not the case. The use of force statistics are so low. In Ben Salem, we were 0.045%. I think it was 0.045% of the times that we made arrests that we had to go hands-on. And that, I'm not talking about unjustified use of force. I'm talking about any use of force.
Any kind of use of force.
Do you know how many arrests that is of no use of force? But no one talks about that.
No, they don't want to.
Here's the trick to never getting hurt while being arrested by the police. I'm giving you the answer right here. You want to make sure that when you get arrested or stopped by the police, here's a way you'll never get hurt. Comply today, complain tomorrow. Go along with whatever. If you're innocent, you'll be able to tell your side of the story in about an hour. You'll be able to get a supervisor when the situation has calmed down. You'll be able to tell your story. Not in 10 days. Not in 11 weeks like I was trying to get the passport. Not like this poor girl trying to deal with Philadelphia. We do it instantaneously. You're talking about an hour. You'll be able to tell your side of the story, probably even quicker in some departments. Maybe cities like Philadelphia or New York, maybe 2 hours. Probably not, though. You'll be able to get a supervisor in less than an hour on location to tell your side of the story. But don't fight it out. The street is not the place to fight it out.
No, that's right.
And I guarantee you, you won't see any more issues on television.
Isn't that the truth? Good point.
Well put. Well put. The whole scenario was well put.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I'm pretty amazing. I don't know.
I know. I was just thinking that myself.
My wife says, can I say, we got a second. My wife always says, I think it's funny. She goes, you really like that line. I'm like, I do think it's funny. She goes, no one loves Fred like Fred. So she's right on, Lisa. There you go. I put it live on the air. God. Now your quote is out there forever for people to YouTube and chop up, and I'm sure we'll hear that again. No one loves Fred like Fred. So
one of your biggest advocates is out there listening to you right now, Matt Weintraub. Matt's listening in.
Maybe Matt loves me like Fred. I don't know.
He tells us all the time.
Matt's a good guy.
Yeah,
he is a good guy.
If he loves you, that's a good.
That's going to be a loss to the district attorney's office.
Yeah, no kidding.
He becomes judge. It's a great win for the bench.
Yes.
A great win for people to get a fair trial and an impartial judge. Not all our judges are great in Bucks, but this guy knows both sides. He understands victims. He understands the problems that people go through, and he understands holding people accountable for. And he understands law and order. I would have liked to seen him Attorney General for the United States one day, but
it may happen.
Maybe when I'm president, I'll make Matt my Attorney General. Do you hear it, Matt? I made the promise on television right now.
You can't take it back now. But he's firm and compassionate. But we have a rising star, Jennifer Shorn.
Well, we do have a rising star.
I love her. I love the way she goes at crime and she fights it. And she'll do a good job.
She has incredible compassion for victims.
Yes, she does.
Hopefully we don't have any more victims in Bucks County, but that's not realistic.
No.
They're going to get an incredible DA. All goes well. I don't even know if I should be saying this stuff. I'll probably get in trouble. But
well, I can say it.
That's our problem in Philadelphia. There's no compassion for the victim. And whether anybody likes me saying that or not,
well, it's true. It's a fact.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it gets worse instead of better. But we're gonna, after our next break here, we're gonna pause for another break for our sponsors. We need to recognize the fact that there's police officers, good ones, that want to do their job, and they're seeking outside agencies and other employment. Families are encouraging their spouse or their nephew or aunt, uncle, whoever it may be, who's a police officer. Well, you should think about it's the media that we have to go after first, because they just love to throw a lot of bad publicity out for our police officers, who every day they put their lives on the line. And it's something that really needs to be changed. more than anything, the media needs to start participating and supporting our police.
Yeah, puts them in.
They don't do it.
I get it. You know, puts them in a rough spot too because they answer to bosses. And listen, I've dealt with a lot of news reporters in my times in Ben Salem, and still now, but not nearly what I did with Ben Salem.
Yeah.
And they're good. The reporters are great people doing
great.
a job. And
they got somebody up here pulling
They
the
do,
strings.
and they're very fair.
Yeah.
You know, I've said things, you know, at tapings, and I'm like, and they've cut it for
cut it
me
out for
because I said it by accident.
Yeah.
And they've all been pretty fair. I can't complain about a single one of them in the Delaware Valley.
But there's just too much bad things that are up there. People are getting tired of hearing.
Well,
all
it's
the
social
bad
media is what's
stuff.
killing us.
Social media is the worst. Yeah.
Social media.
Yes.
Is that an oxymoron? I
It
don't
is.
know.
No, that's
it's not very social.
It's
No,
not.
that
It's
is
not
not.
social at all.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Unless it's slanted.
Slanted.
But you're listening to Behind the Badge with Fred Harran, our sheriff here in Bucks County. I'm Tom Mellon, Charlie Esposito. Bree, our tech over there, is telling me, get off. We need a break here for a minute. We're going to have a few words from our sponsors, and we'll return.
During the Toyota Ready, Set, Go sales event, just imagine yourself in a new Toyota. Whatever you need, from an electric vehicle to a rugged, versatile truck, we have new Toyotas on the ground for immediate delivery. Or choose from over 100 certified used options, which undergo a rigorous inspection and include an amazing warranty. Plus service centers that can save you time and money and keep you on the road. So let's go to Team Toyota this spring. Just visit teamtoyota.net to find a location near you.
WBCB is now on your FM dial at 107.3. Serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer counties since 1958, you can now listen to all of your BCB favorites crystal clear on 107.3 FM. A new age for WBCB on a new frequency, 107.3.
Opinions matter, and so does yours. Hi, I'm Joe Fabrizi, inviting you to join us every Monday at 1 p.m. for Opinions Matter, right here on 1490 AM WBCB. Opinions Matter is now live streamed at WBCB1490.com. We want to hear from you because your opinion does matter.
We're back here with Behind the Badge, sponsored by Paul Muller, WBCB 1490 and 107.3 on the dial. Charlie, we've spoke to a few people at our board meeting down in Northeast Philadelphia. Quickly, I'll just mention this, and some people are saying, I can't hear it. It doesn't come in that good. Well, try 107.3 on the FM dial, and I'm certain that
Or stream it.
Yeah, or streaming. We're on streaming. Just plug it in, bring it up, and you can watch Fred anytime you would like.
There's a treat.
Yeah, there's the treat. And we're going to call it I Like Fred.
Way to sell the station there, guys.
Yes.
You know how many viewers you just lost?
We lost them. Yeah. They're going to come back, though, because you're coming back on the air. So, you're a popular guy.
Yeah, in my own mind.
But I want to talk a little bit about the family of Chris Fitzgerald. Jesus. Immediate, his law enforcement family as well as his wife. And there's a lesson to be learned. We need to talk about his efforts and his dedication to his job and to his family. Sergeant, they posthumously promoted him to sergeant, and he'll be remembered for a lot of the good that he did in the community. Down at the Basilicas of St. Peter and Paul, you look at that turnout, and there were a lot of people there that weren't all just police and fire, but there was a lot of residents in North Philadelphia. He played in the streets where he worked. He's seen the need to communicate with all the residents and with the kids. He had different charities. If there was, he was a sheriff, incidentally.
I do know.
5 years.
I was down at the funeral, and the sheriff spoke down there,
Yeah.
and he got promoted there as well. And
Yes.
he was a sheriff and then a temple officer, and he was something else too. I thought there was a third position he had, but I'm not sure.
I'm sure there was. It escapes me, but he realized the importance to work and socialize with the communities and where he worked, and that's once again why he played with the kids in the street. And he had a run club to divert and pull people away from the crime and the incidents of negativism. Instead, he portrayed a lot of optimism, and he'll be sadly missed. He'll be sadly missed. The first Temple police officer who was killed in the line of duty.
Yeah, crazy.
Senseless.
You can't make You can't make heads or tails out of why these things happen, and
No.
you can't. Listen. I've been doing this now. I'm going on my 38th year, and I stopped trying to figure out a long time ago. You know why good people die, and
Yeah.
why do little children die, why little children get assaulted, and some people will tell you can't have good without bad, and
Yeah.
I don't know if what I buy, what I don't buy.
Sure.
Doesn't matter what I believe or what I
No.
don't believe, but here's a guy is a good guy, and got killed and senseless. Execution style over a disturbance call. It's just ridiculous. And as you well know, you just never know which call is going to be the one. Sometimes the easiest calls you do 20 times a week, and that's the one that just goes wrong and takes your life. And it's true. These people go to work every day not knowing if they're going to return home. Hey, I something been bugging me for a long time, and I wasn't going to say anything on this show. I've said it, before privately in front of family members and some people. But here's a cop, and just like other police officers get killed, and you were talking about heroes before, and I know during COVID, I'm going to make a quick connection here. During COVID, we didn't have pro athletes, and we didn't have, Tom Hanks wasn't making movies because of COVID, and they can't be near each other filming.
Sure.
But the person working at Walmart putting toilet paper on the shelves, we needed that person.
Oh, you better believe
we
that.
needed. Remember the what the heck happened with toilet paper during COVID? And I'm gonna get back to Fitzgerald in a minute.
Sure.
The day that was the Buffalo Bills, was that the player that had the heart attack on the field? Remember?
The name.
I forget his name. The Bills.
Yes, I remember.
I think it was the Buffalo Bills, and people know me. I don't like sit down and glued
Sure.
on Sundays to the sports and all that. I just don't believe in some of the money they make. I don't believe in all that. And then the players couldn't play that day because of because their player had a heart attack and lived and is alive and well today. Which thank God.
Thank God is right.
Thank God. But here's a police officer. A police officer got killed that night too. And you talk about Fitzgerald. He got killed, and officers continued to patrol the streets of Temple, protect kids. They didn't all boo-hoo, take their towel and go home. They're batting ball and go home, because they rallied, and Philadelphia police remained vigilant on the streets, and they go and they continue to do their job. And you talk about recruitment. I think it's time we put. These are one of the things we need to put our money where our mouth is, or we need to put our energy where our mouth is, or our thoughts where our mouth is, or our conscience where our mouth is. It doesn't have to be money, and we need to be able to support, not just when a police officer gets killed in the line of duty, but make it the one. At one point, Fitzgerald, maybe this is the guy, because of all the great community work he's done, and because he is well known, not well known, but well loved in the community, but also his young brother. I forget his name, but I was at the funeral. This kid, I think, was 19, a college student. Oh, my God. This guy, I'd vote for him today for some public office. He is so well-spoken, so articulate, has his thoughts together. This young man is going to grow up, and we're not done with him. We're going to see something. It might just be his following his older brother Fitzgerald's footsteps, whatever it might be. But this young man is going to
make a difference.
He's going to make a difference somewhere. I couldn't believe, and you're standing in the Basilica. I stood for 5 hours total, inside and out. It was cold that day, but when this kid talked, you could hear a pin drop. I mean, everybody was glued to the screens. You can't see. You've been in the Basilica. It's hard to see up front. And the TVs are outside, the monitors. Have you ever been to a police funeral? And this place, everybody was glued to the screen watching this kid. But, that's what we got to start remembering. Fitzgerald and all the work he did. And sometimes we put our priorities in the wrong place. We learned during COVID a couple things. We can't live without police. We can't live without doctors and nurses and fire. We can't live without the person putting toilet paper on the shelves. Cannot live without. We need that person working. We need that. Well, they were essential workers.
Yes.
But you know who wasn't essential, folks? Tom Hanks. No one cared. And any pro ball player, non-essential. Didn't need them.
No.
Fine, no problem. And they put these cardboards in the stands. Let there be cardboard for the rest of their lives. They shouldn't be making the money they're making. You want to recruit nurses and good doctors and good police.
That's where the money needs to
go. Put
go.
the money there.
Yes.
You really want. Put the money there. Put the money
very
into
good
that,
point.
whether it's benefits or a decent after. There's many police departments. The average police officer doesn't live past 10 years past retirement.
That's horrible.
Look at those stats.
Yeah.
Because of the shift work, because they're out all the time, because the adrenaline up and down in adrenaline.
And the emotions that stay.
The
they're
emotions,
embedded.
I always had to explain to people when they were seeing crime scenes on television, like the news would capture the crime scene, and they're trying to make anybody look. Why? Somebody was saying to me, why is the cop laughing all the way? What cop? The one all the way back there at the crime scene at the gate. What cop are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, because what do you want them to do? Bawl their eyes out because 3 people are dead? You're going to be a lunatic if you do that.
Sure.
You gotta, you can't, it's 2 emotions, and I pick laughter,
Sure.
There's
a way to combat.
What did MLK say? I pick love over hate. I pick laughter over crying to some degree. And, you have to be able to balance it out. So, I know, people I know, they're like, why are they laughing in the background? It's a horrible. What do you want them to do?
Yeah.
Sit on the ground sobbing?
Yeah.
People laugh at funerals, at their family funerals.
Exactly.
It's human. It's human nature, and just to get what I don't mean to interrupt you, but
too late.
The Fitzgerald's children are, in my opinion, a reflection of their parents.
Yes.
Oh, sure.
The father was I don't know if you got to speak with him, but he's
no, I did not.
Phenomenal.
The father's a chief in Florida, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
No, he's in
Texas.
No, he was in Texas. He's in Denver. Right
Denver,
now.
yeah, Denver. Yeah. But he was up in this area. I think he was in Philadelphia and left.
Yeah.
And I don't know them at all. To say I know them would be a lie. But from what I saw on television, what I saw down there, let it be the one. Let it be the one. Hopefully we don't have another death.
Yes, exactly.
I know that's probably not going to be the case, but we can hope for it. Same thing with all these other incidences that happen around the country. Hopefully, it's the last one. We talked about horrific things like school shootings and things, and we know there's a way to solve these problems. Are there ways to solve police officers being killed? Are there ways to solve innocent people being hurt at the hands of police or whatever you want to call it?
Right.
There are ways to do it, but you got to put your money where your mouth is, and there's ways to fix some of these issues. Just to complain about it and moan about it when it happens,
nothing will get done.
Nothing will get done.
No.
And we will go on, and tomorrow is a new day, and we will complain until the next one happens. And you don't hear anything about school shootings anymore. You'll hear it when we have the next one.
No, and you came up with very good, important points about the school system and how it needs to be. You need accountability. That's where it starts, right there with the administration, to keep the doors locked and make sure someone's held accountable for it.
And you need monetary investment in securing your buildings.
Absolutely. Well,
So,
2 minutes. How about this, Fred? 2 minutes, and we still could go on for another 2 hours. But just to wrap it up, I think a lot of people have learned today, and if you watch the streaming on WBCB, on WBCB.org, 1490.com, you can bring up our shows and learn a little bit more if you haven't had the time, or if you're listening and you want to let your neighbors know, hey, it was a great show. Fred came up with some good points. It's a good way to learn more and to get the word out there.
A lot of good points.
Oh, yeah, with Behind the Badge here, 1490 WBCB, 1490 and 107.3. We have a tour of honor that's coming up for our military. Joe Safran down in Florida right now. He's a little under the weather. God bless you. Things are going to get better for you, Joe. That's April 24th. And we still have some application openings for some of our Vietnam-era veterans that will, have a day of honor. And, boy, you just won't miss it. You're not going to have a better time, and it's honorable. A lot of those guys, when they came home, they weren't treated with honor, and we're going to make up for that, or we continue to make up for that. More than 2,000 of our veterans that we've already taken care of. Lastly is PAL Day in City Hall next week. PAL, that's something that I want to talk to you more about. Maybe we can bring it up on our next show. Something that started that we can start in Bucks County with our children, where some of our students in and around Bucks County can walk a day with the sheriff, with some of our police chiefs, with
So what's it stand for?
It's Police Athletic League.
Oh, Police
Athletic League.
Oh.
And it's a great direction for a lot of our leaders in Philadelphia to teach some inspiring thoughts as to how it is to lead our countries and our boroughs.
So it's just a takeoff of something as a PAL event.
That's right. So
okay.
It's a PAL event. I want to talk to you a little bit about that. But thank you for listening today. It was a great show. Fred, thank you for coming in, and Charlie as well. Bree, thank you for everything. Be safe, stay well. Jerry, I will be coming home to walk the dog. It's probably dying of thirst. No, he isn't. Jerry's home, so that's good. And most importantly, treat all of your first responders out there in your military with respect. Thank them for their services, and God bless America.